Hi guys, this is a review of the Carrera Crossfire 2 gents bike. I've had it now for over 2 years, February 2019, and this is the first chance I've had to do a review on it. I've done about 2,000 miles on it, and it's been quite a good bike. The reason I'm doing this now, pressure's on, I decided to upgrade to an e-bike, so I'll only have this for a few more days now. Bike itself is extremely good, the frame is good, it's very reliable, and I hate to say never had, but I've never even had a puncture in all the time I've had it. I've done about 2,000 miles, and the tyres still got plenty of meat on them. The brakes I've never had to change, there's still plenty of meat on those as well. Bought a stand for it and this carrier, which I've got a bag for too, and this little bag under the seat, and my computer. Other than that, and some oil for the chain, I haven't spent a penny on it. It's very quiet when you ride. It's got 24 gears. Let's pull it round to the sunlight. That's eight at the back and 3 at the front. And if you're not too sure how they work, it's in my innocence I used to think it was sequential from 1 right up to 24, but of course it's not. The gears at the front, there are 3 there, and you tend to match those with some of the gears at the back there. So very low gear at the front and the back, you'd use say gears 1, 2 and 3 at the back with first cog at the front, perhaps 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 with the middle cog at the front, and 6, 7 and 8 with the big cog at the front. And the idea is that your chain stays fairly in line without too much sideways deflection. It's a bit of a windy day and there's some air conditioning units here, so you can't tell how quiet the bike is, but after 2.5 years and 2,000 miles, it's still in incredibly good condition. I've had to do nothing whatsoever to it, except dust it down. I will say though, it's very rarely been out in the rain, and it's kept in my house, so it's kind of pampered. But then I like to look after things. You may notice some paint spots over, it's just been painted the ceiling, but that's matte and it'll drop off. Would have preferred a decent mirror for this. This one's just about acceptable, but it's difficult to get something that does the job without looking ridiculous as well. It's a nice looking bike this, and I like the green colour scheme. They don't do that on the one I'm after now. I must say I bought this one from Halfords. It's the second bike I've had from Halfords personally. The last one I had a few years ago was a Carrera. It wasn't a Crossfire. It was very, very similar to this. It was a mountain bike though, bigger tyres. I didn't climb too many mountains with it, and it was quite hard work on the road because of the bigger tyres. So this one is a hybrid Crossfire 2. As I bought this in 2019, before this COVID nonsense began, and I've been extremely happy with it. Disc brakes are fantastic. You don't go through the discs with the pads at all. They just seem to last forever. Everything works. Nothing's jammed. No cables are frayed. I bought it from Halfords, the same as I bought the first one from Halfords. The first one I put together myself. This one they put together for me. I don't have a preference really. I don't mind doing it myself. But I will say that however they did it, the only thing I've ever had to adjust is the gears at the back, and occasionally you can tell they're just slightly out of alignment, and that could be anything. But it's a short twist of the Bowden cable adjusters there. Soon sorts that out, and that's it. I'm going to Halfords for my next one. I'm after the Crossfire eBike 2.0 version. which has a 60-mile range, and it's not unreasonably priced either. But my partner, I bought her a bike from Halfords as well, an e-bike, and that was the Apollo Metis. I've got a review on that. Well, it's not a proper review, it's just how to change the front wheel, or take the front wheel off, I should say. That's been a very good bike, and I'll probably do something on that. But thinking about buying electric bikes, we're replacing hers now as well, and we're going to replace that probably with the Crossfire 2.0 women's bike, which matches this one really in mileage, 60 miles. They're both £1,399. But I've had 2 Carreras now, and I'm very happy to have a third. I don't need a £1,000 bike with a huge, feather-light frame. That's okay for people who need that kind of thing, but I don't. So I'm very happy with this type of bike. It's getting more difficult going up the hills. I am getting on a bit. Hence the reason to change to an e-bike. The Apollo Metis has a 20-mile range. She doesn't use the battery all the time, but we had a bit of a hilly ride the other week, and it was struggling to get back at 22 miles. So we need something with a bigger range there. But also, if you're thinking of an e-bike, think about where the battery's located. On the Apollo and some others, it's on the back, fitted in the frame, the carrier, the luggage carrier. Well, that's great, except if you stop unexpectedly, or you lose your balance, or somebody pulls out in front of you, you find yourself suddenly coming to an unexpected stop. The weight at the back carries the bike, and you're not expecting it, so it's easy to fall. Even though the motor's on her front wheel, not the back wheel, in theory the load's fairly balanced, but that is an issue, and of course lifting it onto a carrier as well, that's been an issue. But the Carrera has the battery in the middle and the motor's on the back wheel, so it's that's a much better balance. That's what we're going for. But this Carrera, I'll be really sorry to see it go. It's just been such an incredible bike. As you can see, it still looks fairly new. I like the colour scheme, the green flashes and things. The suspension at the front is great. Doesn't have a suspension at the back seat, which I wouldn't want, because I think when you're pedalling, you're putting some effort into the thing. The effort needs to be forward motion, not up and down motion. So the up and down, I think, takes some of the energy out of your movement. The quick release mechanism on the wheels is fantastic. If I have to load her into the car, it's done in minutes. My fiance's got a carrier for her car, which is so easy to use, and it can take up to 40 kilograms, which is really 2 e-bikes if you take the batteries out, and that's pretty good. This is 15 kilograms, so there's no weight at all really. It's a 21-inch frame. I've got 32-inch in the leg. I'm 5'10". So if you're thinking about a bike, there's a chart on the Halfords site there to help you choose. The bigger the wheels, these are 28-inch wheels, the faster you can go, which doesn't necessarily mean you go racing around everywhere. Sorry about the noise. I'm right next to Edge Hill, and that's a Avanti thing going out. Used to be a Virgin thing, now it's an Avanti thing. Okay, the changing gear bit. Changing gear is dead easy. Just a flip to go up. 5th, 6th. I usually keep it on number 2. And then against the spring pressure to go back to low gear. Dead easy. Yeah. So whatever I was saying, I'm sure was very true. Anyway, I hope that's useful. It's been an incredibly good bike. I really am sorry to see it go. The other one's arriving on Thursday. I did wonder about the pedals. These are very basic pedals, these things. I'm not sure they're the right ones that should have come with it. The metal there doesn't really grip trainers and things. The fiance had a problem with that with her, which changed the pedals. It's got Presta valves, which are fine. Oh, no, I was talking about forward motion actually with suspension. Yeah, it's been a really good bike. If you think about it, this one cost me about £250 back in 2019. Hare's cost me less than 600. It's now advertised for 800 in the shops. It's gone up £200 just because there's demand for them. So this is probably closer to £300. But if you, I mean, you can see the shock absorbers there. You can see they're being used, and yet I've not had to fill them. I've not had to do anything at all with them. So this is an incredibly well made bike. Very happy with it. I bought that stand, which is great because you really need a stand. So trying to find curbs to leave it against and things. And that's about it. The bike computer's great. I've got every single journey I've ever done with that, and it's on a website called Strava, which maps out your trips, as you probably know if you're a biker. So there we are. I think I'll leave it at that. I hope you find that useful. If you're thinking of buying a bike and you want not too expensive and a decent quality bike, then I can't recommend Carrera high enough. This next one will be my third, and it's all good. So thanks very much for watching.